Hey, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Dead in Vinland, the crunch the numbers edition. That's right. But before I hit the old record button there, I was doing something I don't normally do actually, and running some ideas through my head about what am I going to talk about today? What am I going to discuss? What am I going to say? What grand world problems am I going to solve on camera today? And I was trying to put some context to some of the things, and I was thinking, well, how old was I, and where was I in life at certain sort of key moments of sort of worldwide or fairly worldwide recognizability, and the one that was important at this particular point was the old turn of the century, the old Y2K craze that swept the globe, or the western part of the globe anyway. Colonized the island? And I was trying to think, when was that relative to how old I was? How old was I at the year 2000? And how old are my kids relative to how old I was then? And trying to run all these numbers through my head, I came to the realization that I'm flipping old. A wolf sculpture. Oh my God! Look at all these options. Hopefully we'll find some insults in here, I guess. You see a sculpture of a howling wolf. The craftsmanship is outstanding, even more so in a supposedly uninhabited island like this. Maybe a remnant of another civilization that lived here long ago? Two ravens are resting on the sculpture, looking at you with nasty red eyes. A rune is carved in the sculpture. Well, if it's not... I wonder if all those beads end up turning into insults. Like, as strange as that sounds... Is that, these are quest items. Huh. Okay, let's check the rune. A wisdom-filled individual. We'll have the brother do it. At the base of the statue, the rune stands out, carved into a brownish stone. It's not the first time you see this rune, but what does it mean? Wow, only 67%? Why is that so low? The rune reminds you of a poem. Os is aged Gautra and Prince of Asgaror, the Lord of Valhalla. You are facing the rune of Aesir's, the rune of Odin, the source of all language, a comfort to the wise, the rune of Skalds and Zeus. Looks like just watching the rune inspires you. Must be Bragi's work. More wisdom? Okay. Wow, what? So much charisma, really? Look at this. Look at these characters. They're phenomenal. It's almost as if this is easy mode or something. The blackbirds are perched on the hands on each side of the statue. They are not paying attention to you, too busy grooming their plumage. I don't have any... I don't want to do either of those options. You shout and clap your hands to make some noise and frighten the ravens. The shrewd birds tilt their head at the same time, puzzled. Birds are too clever. You decide to leave them alone for now. So we're going to come back with some fruit. It said fresh fruit, right? The wolf has been chiseled out of the stone. It stands head toward the sky in a howling posture. Looks like the dog of Norns was a noble animal. Its paws are circled with golden rings, the kind Norsemen wear when they take an oath. Another jewel decorates the muzzle of the beast. You feel the urge to touch the statue. The contact fills you with kennings and poetic thoughts. Kennings, I gotta write that down. Is that an actual word? Wonder about its purpose. The delicate craftsmanship and the presence of the trinkets and the rune make you think this is a shrine to some god. You feel like honoring it, but first you'd need to know whose shrine it is. Okay, I guess I'm in a hidden condition. If you were to believe the Anzus rune, this is the shrine of the first maker of poetry and the long-bearded god and son of Odin, Bragi. What better gift to honor Bragi than the drink that introduced poetry to mankind? You open a bottle and rinse your mouth with the sweet liquid. You then take a mouthful and share it with the wolf by pouring it into its open maw. Then, in reminder of the sacrifice of Gvasir to create the drink, you shed a few drops of blood into the maw. Injury? No. You feel imbued with Bragi's blessing. Your heart brims with poetry. But which kind should you use? 12 days? Are you feeling like a skald, the famous refined poets who master the most difficult art, or like the anonymous Eirik poets with simpler words? The most difficult art. Hramtangar, later hanga, hrvingel, mer brunji, hoki tron, etc., etc. As your tongue rolls in the last syllable, you are brimming with confidence. Apparently my charisma isn't as high as Tomo's. You've impressed the gods. Poet. You heard the sound of wings fending air and realized you were closing your eyes the whole poem. When you open them, both ravens are gone alongside the trinket hanging on the arms. You feel overwhelmed by a sense of loss, as if the world had lost all colors and appeal. Well, that's unfortunate. You kneel at the feet of the statue, eyes brimming with tears, when you notice the rune panel is gone. In its stead, a small orichalcum bead. You take the proof of the rune blessing and walk back to camp, sobbing. Lucky 13. Oh, we got a raven. Ravens are cool. I like ravens. Odin has two ravens called Hugin Thought and Mugen Mind. The little spies tell everything they see and hear to Odin. He sends them flying over Midgard during breakfast, and they finish their travel around the world before dinner time. Seems about right. So basically, yeah, I guess I've been a little reflective, a little pensive, a little thoughtful lately. With all the talk that I've had about how I'm behind the times in so many ways. And I can tell that I've got a lot of time on my hands right now because I'm consuming in great quantities a new media property in the form of Game of Thrones, and I guess that's had me thinking about timing and where I was on, why did I miss out on Game of Thrones, and where was I in life, and all that kind of fun stuff. 98%. And yeah, so I was looking back, and I can't remember why I was going back so far, back to 18 years to the turn of the century, to the new millennium. And I'm just, thinking about, and I was thinking, well, my oldest kid was born in 2005. And I remember that there's this picture of me on the eve, the New Year's Eve going into the year 2000. And last time I saw this picture, I don't know exactly where it is. The last time I saw it, I could swear, to see me, I'm like, that is a child. And just 5 years, we have text. I may have come up with a plan. Oh, this is the night from when we found the curse for the small angry dude. So we're bringing that to fruition now, I guess. I don't like that smile. I think we may be able to scare the shit out of this eagle guy. If he is the eagle from the Gunhild state tale, or thinks he is. We could reproduce a nithing pole with this strange horse head we found. Add to that the good incantation from the black magic tablets we retrieved. If he is as dumb as I think he is, he will believe we cursed him. Then we could convince him to rally to our cause. May work. I'm no fan of black magic, but it could work. Ah, I knew you'd like it. course, as soon as I sit down to record, I notice a frog in my throat. It's unreal. Eirik. I think that's a yes. Okay, let's try to set him up sometime soon. It's like I forgot how to read. It may be a big step for us in our fight against Bjorn. There we go. So now we've got to curse him. So it's not just as simple as that. I thought we were basically done with that guy. Everybody gets their water. It's like our first motto, our first sort of creed that we have to live by. From like day one was everybody gets their water in this camp. Back to those days, video number 1 and 2. Okay, we can fast forward. So yeah, I have this picture of myself on New Year's Eve, 1999, and doing the math, I would have had to have been. How old? I just figured this out a little while ago. 16? Oh my God, I just had this. Yeah, I had just turned 16. When I look at that picture, I'm like, that is a child. That is a boy, a small boy. How is it possible that in just 5 short years, that child has had a child of his own? But then I was like 20, 21, 22. I guess I must have been 17. Holy cow, 17. That's a man. There's no child there. Why do I look so childish in that photo? I don't know. What does this poet do for us? Wisdom and charisma, not exactly things that we need at the moment. But that's fine. We're going to be getting free water from the gods. We got nothing going on here. Is there anything we even really need? We're just so on autopilot right now. I feel so bad about the way I've mismanaged. Got a fire crystal. Sure, let's use it. We do want more combat things though. We still need those. We can't let ourselves get sidetracked in that respect. We've got we don't have much at all, do we? The crit we don't really need too much of because only Kari really needs it. Accuracy, what we will get, and some max damage. So we'll go a couple more accuracies. There we go. Yeah, we got a fair number of bones to kind of buff our ranks. If you're not doing anything really all that special, you know, just go, just lie down. You can recover the mining camp some more. It's been doing that for weeks, but that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You guys can all. I don't even care that only Angelico's there. It's just whatever. Yeah, so we'll return to the map here and start to look around. What is this little pond area? Ooh, an abandoned boat. A bark of exquisite craftsmanship is docked near the shore. The atmosphere around it is heavy. Is it because of all the candles or because of what's inside? The small boat is filled by a large humanoid package. Humanoid covered with a dark cloth. A rune is embroidered on it. A lot of twigs fill the void. Check out the embroidery. Love Moira do that. The runic embroidery stands out both thanks to its golden thread and to the extra care put to secure the package without covering the rune. Even though some parts of the cloth have been damaged by the elements, the area around the embroidery is in perfect condition. This rune must bear a powerful meaning to be staged like that. Only 83%. Yeah, that's fine. You remember reading a parchment about long-lost Futhark runes. This rune is one of them. Hewas is its name, and you think it is linked with horses. But then why would it be in a boat? No. You know there was more to it. Ooh. Oh, okay. Ah, now you remember. You knew your curiosity would pay off someday. Iwaz was indeed linked to horses, but to imply movement, travel. And if memory serves you right, most of the time it was used for travels between worlds. For instance, to bring warriors to Valhalla. Of course, we'll check inside the boat. I don't need to steal twigs. That's not a really great scattering of talents here. You approach the boat to check what's inside. The main cargo is about your size and makes you feel uneasy. Assess the package. You hesitate. The package really looks like a human being. Still, you want to touch it to confirm your feeling, or rather, you wish to prove yourself wrong. It's firm. A bit hard even. You can feel different textures, layers of clothes. You remove your hand quickly, realizing the implications. It really is a dead person wrapped in the fabric, dead for a couple of days at most. So all this staging, this must be their funeral, mustn't it? You feel drained. Is it because of all the emotions you're feeling right now? Oh no, we're honoring the dead. We don't need loot. You feel like you owe the dead some homage. You would wish the same to you when the time comes. You kneel and close your eyes. For some reason, you feel a big knot in your throat, and you start to cry. You don't even know the deceased, so why are you so affected? You open your eyes and see your mother in the boat. How can the vision fades away as you stand? Now you see your father. You shake your head to make the vision go away, and it does. Why are you thinking about their death? As you ponder the thought, a raven pokes your hand with its beak. It releases a freshly cut plant from its beak before flying away. What does that tell us? Check inside the boat. Did we not already just do that? Approach the boat, about your size, feel uneasy. Finish the funeral, of course. You don't know what happened to the people who staged the funeral, but you feel someone has to give the dead a proper rest. Oh. Burn the dead. This is what they did on Game of Thrones. You decide to follow the Norse fashion and torch the boat. You get a torch from camp and light the boat. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's all good. You then push it away from the shore. You watch the boat burn as it goes offshore. May the spirit of the dead travel safely to the other side. You are about to go back to camp when you see a raven swoop onto the boat. It then flies towards you. Something is in its beak. You catch the gift of the Swan of Odin as it falls. It's a bead made of a strange golden metal. It shines prettily. I got so many beads. I am a bead boss here. This is amazing. And another raven. That's 2 ravens. That's all he had. So yeah, I've been contemplating, am I just a strange old man who consumes new media far too late, too behind the time? But I'm loving Game of Thrones. I had a mini rant the other day. Yes, Jon Snow's a pretty boy. He's up in the quote-unquote north where it's not even cold. And, oh, it's so cold. Oh, I'm cold. I need a redhead to keep me warm. There's no frost icicles, beard icicles on your beard. I can't take you seriously. Things have heated up a lot since then in terms of the narrative. But honestly, it kind of peaked for me. I'm really having a hard time. I'm in season 4, and I've been very good at staying away from spoilers on this particular story. And although I had once, actually, of all things, I had a thumbnail spoil a fairly significant, like I knew it was coming because it had to happen, like just from the storytelling perspective, this certain thing had to happen. But I had it spoiled for me in a thumbnail, so it was kind of on the lookout for it. And it's an early season 4 occurrence for those who are wondering what exactly I'm talking about. And you kind of knew that this was going to happen, right? It involves a character that kind of, that it's only going to go one way, right? Someone's going to do it. And so yeah, it was spoiled in a thumbnail, right? It was kind of like unless it was just detailed enough of a picture in a thumbnail, just because of how I'm watching it. All the episodes in the season are listed in front of you, and with the brief descriptions and the picture for the next episode. Not even the one that I was about to watch, but the one after that. had a thumbnail that was like, oh, really? Unless it's like a dream sequence or some really weird things happen, that's a spoiler. So I was on the lookout for it. And then when I got to that episode an hour or so later, and then things started to happen, I was like, oh yeah, I kind of knew this was still shocking. And there was another thing, an event, a well-known event that had happened earlier in the series that I knew existed. And I maybe I could have seen it coming, but it totally caught me by surprise. And that particular event seems to have kind of put me off. I'm basically, it's like they got a long way to go to get me back. And I'm like well into season 4, and I'm just kind of like, okay. I don't know. It's an event that is a color and a ceremony. So for those of you who know, you know what I'm talking about. And I think I have a thing for wives is what it boils down, because the same thing happened to me in Dexter. You go back to that show, it's another 100-year-old show. And a thing happens involving a wife, and after that thing happens in season 4 or 5 or whatever it is, I still to this day have not finished. I think I watched like one episode of the next season after that particular wife incident, and just never went back to it. Did not care anymore, and for some reason it was a new wife, and for some reason just stuck with me, and piqued my interest, I guess. And I guess I have a soft spot for wives, and if anything, you learn something, right? The other day you learned I'm wearing a Cuphead t-shirt. I'm not wearing it today, and now you learn things about Roman watching these videos, and what you learn today is Roman's got a thing for wives. I guess he's got a soft spot for wives in media properties, and that's just an unfortunate reality that I have to discover and come to terms with about myself, I suppose. But I think we're like 22 minutes in. This is a good time. We'll come back. I've got more Game of Thrones musings, more personal discoveries to be made properly. Maybe we'll sort out why I was thinking about how old I was at the turn of the century. I don't know. Again, like I always say, we figure it out as we go. That's all I can promise you, is there'll be weird things going on, weird discussions. We'll figure it out together. Till then, thanks very much. See you soon.